Pero ang estudyante natin ang nagbibigay ng lakas doon sa programa. So yung winning natin sa Metro Manila Film Festival, back-to-back yun, pagpapakita ng lakas ng curriculum na may combination ng magagaling na faculty at yun nga, yung ginawa nating pag-expand talaga. Aggressive, connecting with the industry, mapunuan sila ng mga kaalaman na hindi lang sa classroom. Yun, Sir JC, sa akin ang napakagandang test ng working curriculum.
Sabi mo dati kapag naging program head ako, mas makakalabas ako ng bansa. Next, if Common Media were a movie, what genre would it be?
Wow.
Horror ba
Magagalit
to?
sa akin si pag horror, globalization, global standard. Problema pa rin ng Pilipinas ang bigas.
UP or CEU? The joke. Welcome to Cup of Jose, your local Escolarian podcast. And I have here with me today someone very, very special for the Communication Media program. He is a news and commentator, right? Broadcaster and commentator. And he is also an associate professor at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines and a senior lecturer too at the University of the Philippines, Diliman. But aside from those credentials, I like to say that this person is very dear to me because he is instrumental in many things that's happening to my career at the moment. And without further ado, I'd like to welcome Dr. Ricky Rosales.
Wow, ang ganda ng introduction, Sir JC. Ha? Talagang salamat and thank you for having me in your podcast. And I'm happy I'm here again.
So, kabaliktaran ngayon, lagi ikaw nag-interview ngayon, no?
Sabi ko nga parang hindi ako komportable akong tinatanong. Ha?
Okay.
Parang gusto ko lagi ako nagtatanong eh. So, sir, it's nice to see you again.
Likewise, sir. Thank you for making time for this simple podcast. And parang chikahan lang natin to sa Common Media Office. So, let's try
parang
to make
nandiyan
it
lang tayo sa tabi-tabi.
Yes, and then don't mind the camera. Okay. So, aside from those credentials na banggit kanina, Sir Ricky used to serve as the program head of the Communication Media program for like how many years? More than a
13
decade.
years.
13 years.
Yes.
I think one of the longest.
Yeah. Kasi longest pa siya ngayon. Kasi ang sinundan ko si Professor Ed, the late Professor Ed Villarante. So after him, ako, feeling ko hindi ganun katagal. Tsaka it was not that formal. Doong time ni Professor Villarante, hindi formal na head ng program, if I'm not mistaken. So it was only during my time na nagkaroon ng ganung designation, which after me, ikaw naman ngayon.
Yes. Kaya nga sabi ko
so yung second talaga formally. Diba? Parang ganun.
Yes. And this session will be a very good one because we are going to analyze the previous curriculum.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to give an overview of how it's going to be like in the upcoming school year. So yeah. Okay, so kamusta naman sir after Common Media CEU?
After actually, sa tapa ka ulit dito, no, sa CEU, parang hindi naman nawawala yung Imagine naman, Sir JC, I spent 17 years here at CEU, no? 13 years of which was spent talaga sa heading the communication and media program. Kaya, I feel at home every time I go here sa CEU. So,
and your presence is very much felt naman, even if you have already transferred to a new home.
Yeah.
Okay? And we're very thankful for all your assistance. So, you're now with PUP.
Yes.
And I feel that I also share home with you because
of course.
Because of you also, I am doing my PhD.
And you're enjoying yata naman sa
very
iyong
much.
PhD. Kasi alam mo naman tayo, hindi tayo humihinto, di ba? Kailangan yan eh.
Correct.
At mapapatunayan mo yan na dahil nga lagi tayo nagtuturo, we should really continuously update.
Correct, sir.
Yung ganon. Sa mga bagong trend sa ating akademya. At yan ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon. No? Yung mga bagong trend sa curriculum,
challenges
and so on.
And all. Right. Sabi nung una kong naging guest dito, si Professor J.J. Orense, you will just have
I watched that.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
You will just have to meet someone who will inspire a lot sa iyo sa buhay mo. And I think that you are that person to me.
Wow, thank you, Sir.
Walang halong joke.
It's an honor.
But, I'm very happy, not really happy because of the pandemic, but the pandemic was instrumental in order for us to work together on some projects.
That's right.
That actually led to bring the program to new places.
Exactly.
Paris, France, for example.
Exactly. Your tour to France, no? And you attended an MIL event there, International MIL.
Yes.
So actually, yung pasok mo yun sa program, sa palagay ko, napakagandang opportunity rin for the program. Para siyang sinadya during that time. Kasi I really need somebody na yung ganyang talent, yung ganyang dynamism sa trabaho. So you fit
Okay.
during that time. Of course, ang ating mga faculty members, lahat yan magagaling. Even now, mararanasan mo yan. During that time, talaga ang hinahanap natin, maybe until now, yung oras kasi talaga sa
Tama, sir.
program di ba? Yung makakapagbigay ng malaki-laking oras for the program. And ikaw ay nakapagbigay ng mahaba-habang oras at talent mo noong time na yun.
Right, right. Well, this one is a testament of your improved, how do I call this? Negotiation skills or market persuasion skills, because remember, you convinced me, like, I declined your
Right.
your invitation for 3 times.
Right.
Tama ba?
Kasi nga, well, ang nakikita ko naman noon, Sir JC, it's because of your geographical location No, kumbaga, nafe-feel ko noon na hindi ka handa kasi ang layo. Imagine
Yes.
from Malolos to Manila.
Pampanga.
Yeah, Pampanga. So, ang ibig sabihin sa akin noon, parang although pwede ka, yung hesitancy mo nanggagaling doon na
Geographical,
masyadong
yes.
malayo yung lugar.
Tama,
Yeah.
sir. So you are a PhD in sociology.
Yes.
Okay. Very, very rare.
Fortunately.
gem. Yes.
Oo.
Now, from a sociological perspective, could you tell us, like, how describe the world, that we are preparing the students for before and now? So, gaano kaiba yung mundo nila ginagalawan nila noon at ngayon?
Well, nung kasing time na yon, nung ginawa din namin, kinraft namin yung bagong curriculum, which was implemented 2018. Matindi na rin ang pangangailangan na mag-keep up sa modern technology. I think that was a time na medyo nag-uumpisa na rin tanggapin o makilala yung artificial intelligence during that time. Ibig sabihin, yung digital ecosystem, andyan na. Nagparamdam na siya ng todo rin during that time. Pero ako kasi bilang nasa sosyolohiya nga, talagang ang laging kabig ko at iniisip ko sa ganyan, yung formation ng students na critical, dahil nga liberal arts, parang ganon. So hindi ako nakalin masyado sa, should I say, technical aspect. I'm more on the holistic preparation talaga of students. Ihanda sila for that, no? Critical ability to think that way. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na hindi ko nire-recognize yung nagbabago ring landscape ng teknolohiya
Yes.
para tumulong sa pagpapayabong ng individual o ng mga estudyante. Yun, so kaya nga sabi ko sa iyo, when you came in, panahon na para baguhin ulit, no? At dahil alam mo, to share with you, no, nung nag-AUN, ang Communication and Media Program, and you were there, no? Isa ka sa in-interview. Lahat kami nagugulat kasi sa international standard, yung pagbabago ng curriculum should really be, masyado nang matagal yung 5 taon. Na yan naman ang ating CHED rule na every 5 years we should review, baguhin natin. Parang sa hinuha ko nun, parang ang gusto ng AUN, 2 or 3 years na bago mo na ulit yung curriculum mo.
Very regular changing.
Yeah. So, anong ibig sabihin nun? I agree with that, no? Kasi, maski na, kahit maski yung gusto kong mangyari na formation ng individual sa liberal arts paradigm na aspect, maski yan nagbabago in the contemporary world. No, paano tayo mag-isip? Paano tayo tumingin sa mundo? So, nabanggit mo yung aking disiplina nga sa sosyolohiya. So, doon ang giya, Sir JC. So, maaring sabihin na conceptual, theoretical, ang puso ng curriculum na dinisenyo ko. Bagamat may aspect din dito ng
Technical.
Oo, ng pag-acknowledge at pagtuturo sa mga bata ng may kinalaman sa nagbabagong teknolohiya. Ngayon, ganun ang tunguhin Kailangan mong matutong maigi, kailangan mong maintindihan at gumamit, halimbawa, ng artificial intelligence na to para sa formation din ng individual sa modernong lipunan.
Critical thinking ang iyong kumbaga pinaka-tema, no?
Yes.
Gusto mong i-mold ang mga students natin doon. Okay, teka, bago ka mag-palpitate, nag-e-enjoy ka ba? If you are, at gusto mo pa makapanood ng mas maraming kwentuhang inspiring, relatable, at proudly Escolarian, tutok lang sa Cup of Jose. So, kung ready ka na ma-inspire, don't forget to click the like, share, and subscribe. Ituloy natin ang mga kwento ng tagumpay. Kasama ka rito. Okay, so now, during your time, sir, how did you foster an environment that is, that has lifelong learning? Paano mo pinaramdam yun or ginawa yun sa mga bata?
Well, hindi lang sa mga bata, yung Yung sabi mo nga, pamipressure ko sa iyo halimbawa, pinressure ko ho to sa Sir JC. O kumbaga parang pag nakakakita kasi ako sir ng potential, kumbaga I really not just encourage, sometimes I really push eh. Sometimes you felt that during
Yes,
that time,
yes.
no?
A lot, a lot.
Oo, a lot, 'di ba? Kasi parang nanghihinayang ako doon sa talent. So to me that's lifelong learning eh. Parang hindi ka dapat talaga huminto. So, yan sa faculty sa kagaya mo. And masasabi din ito ng ibang mga faculty members natin na sila din, no? Sina Sir Val, I'm really encouraging them. Sir, ano na, yung masters mo, may bala ka ba for PhD, yung ganyan.
And Doc Cecil also, she is on her way to second
Yes.
PhD.
Kumbaga parang nagba-viral eh. Kumbaga parang ganon. Now, sa estudyante, I think yung focus nga doon sa development nila, sa akin sa critical development nila as students na hindi po pwedeng kung ano lang yung pinag-aaralan mo sa loob ng classroom na nasa curriculum, magkakasya ka na doon. You really have to expand. You have to go out, not only within CEU, kailangan mo lumabas.
Explore.
Lapit-lapit nga nitong kali ng Menjola. So sabi ko sa kanila, parang magmasid-masid kayo dyan sa mga nangyayari dyan. Sometimes, hindi mo naman kailangan sumama kung hindi mo naman talaga alam ang pinaglalaban. Pero yung mamulat ka, ano bang nangyayari rito, parang gano'n.
Malaking bagay na yun.
Yeah. So
Awareness.
to me, it's really a combination of classroom and outside world, Sir JC.
Tama, sir.
That's how I define, aside from the usual thinking of lifelong learning as studying, formal studying, pag-i-enroll, lang ganyan, to mga bata, to push them to go MA, hindi lang ganun eh. Lifelong learning for me is really something na dapat na extend mo
Correct.
beyond classroom.
Remember, we have a subject. Actually, before it's two. Broadcast immersion and print immersion.
Yes.
But with the new curriculum, I converged them.
Yan.
I merged them, no? In order to make them more holistic.
Yes.
So, ang thrust ko doon, every term, they get to choose whatever area or like if they wanna immerse in a museum or a television network or a newspaper, anything that they want. Because in my mind, they can actually learn anything, no? A lot of things.
Right.
Kahit na saang area or kahit
Right.
saang industry.
Right.
So that's one major change.
Yes. Nabanggit mo yung immersion na yan. Actually, hindi naman bago yan. Ever since naman na nagkaroon ng disiplina ng communication and media, masscom, talaga namang laging may pangangailangan na i-immerse sila.
Tama.
Pero yan, noong time na yan, kung mapapansin mo, 2 courses agad na 6
Yeah.
units agad eh. So, hindi ko yan, talking of yung former curriculum natin, hindi ko yan nakita. Kumbaga, para sa akin, hindi malakas sa ganung aspect. So, inilagay natin yon. So, ngayon, babaguhin mo siya kamo into 1.
Just one.
Kasi nga may ibang mga pagbabago na ngayon.
Yes, sir.
So, yun pa rin naman ang spirit
Tama,
nun.
tama.
At yun, kasi nabanggit mo nga, yun yung dahilan din, yung aking iniisip sa lifelong learning, yung pag-extend beyond the classroom. Wag na natin hintayin mag-OJT
Tama,
ang mga
sir,
estudyante. Sabak na kaagad natin sa larangan.
Ang kagandahan nga dito sa Manila campus is they are really immersed with a lot of experiences.
Oo.
I remember I came from Malolos campus. There, the life would be a little simpler, no? A little bit less, kumaga, it's simpler, just for the purpose of discussion, no? But here, you have a lot of institutions na pwedeng
Yes.
puntahan ng mga bata, and all, and
Yes.
it's such a great thing, right?
Yes. Kasi sir, ano yan parang tayo naman mga administrador, tayong faculty, gusto nating i-immerse sila. Saan ba sila pupunta? 'Di ba? So kailangan naman may mga partners naman tayo at kaya mahirap maging administrator
Tama,
'di ba?
sir,
Mahirap humawak ng administrative position.
Sabi mo dati kapag naging program head ako, mas makakalabas ako ng bansa. Parang hindi na
Baliktad.
ganun ngayon, oh.
Hindi, kaya mo pa rin naman. Nga lang, maraming mga concerns kasi muna rito.
Pagbalik ko, dagsain trabaho. Parang wag na lang ako lalabas muna.
Oo.
So moving forward, sir, during your time, what are the most memorable or yung talagang magiging proud ka na innovations or changes na ginawa mo sa curriculum?
Curriculum.
Or the program in general?
Okay. Yung sa akin kasi Sir JC, yung test ng magandang curriculum is really the realization kung ito ay natatranslate sa output ng mga estudyante. And during my time, dyan ako proud na proud. Kaya lagi ko sinasabi, even noon, na ang lakas natin nasa estudyante. I mean, konti faculty natin, right? And most of them are lecturers.
Yes.
So, alam mo naman, hindi naman open book naman yan sa lahat ng mga kasama natin, no? Pero ang estudyante natin, ang nagbibigay ng lakas doon sa programa.
Totoo yan.
So yung winning natin sa Metro Manila Film Festival, back-to-back yun, Tapos nanalo
UNESCO
tayo
also.
sa
UNESCO.
UNESCO.
France.
Yes, yun nga.
Only team in the Philippines.
Exactly. Kayo ni Nacha,
Yes.
makapagal, no? Ano pa yung winning natin sa ano pa yung isang
With
yeah,
was it Pure Gold?
yung bata, ano ba to? Docu-bata.
Yes, yes.
Right? So ito ay pagpapakita ng lakas ng curriculum na may combination ng magagaling na faculty at yun nga, yung ginawa nating pag-expand talaga. No, yung aggressive connecting with the industry, mapunuan sila ng mga kaalaman na hindi lang sa classroom. Yun, Sir JC, sa akin ang napakagandang test ng working curriculum. It's a working curriculum for me.
It translates no to a student
Oo.
output.
Anong ganda kung nakita mo lang, wow, gaganda ng subjects. Ang gaganda ng arrangement. Pero ano yun? Paano natin masusubukan yan?
Siguro sir, yun din ang sinusundan kong path ngayon. No? I'm really immersing them with all possible opportunities like with competitions also, very active tayo dyan, and also what else? A lot of events here inside CEU.
Yes.
Because of our centennial, we're celebrating our centennial anniversary. No? And we have invited a lot of guests,
Yes.
right, from the industry. So those are my ways of making it na ituloy, no, kung ano man yung sinimulan.
Tsaka yung ano mo, yung tunguhin mo for internationalization, maganda yon. It's really, kasi nag-AUN na tayo,
Yes.
Pakokowa level 4 na tayo, re-accredited pa. So the only way to go for common media ng CEU is really to move forward in the international scene.
Right, right. So how do you see students now, sir, moving forward like 10 years from now? In general, and also using your sociological perspective. Saan sila papunta? Ano yung mga challenges na meron sila?
Ako kasi, sir, ayokong every time madidescribe ang lipunang ito na parang driven by the power of technology. Medyo nagiging pessimist ako dyan kasi nga, yung lagi kong iniisip na, yung lagi kong pinanggagalingan na kailangan habang nangyayari ito, nagbabago ang teknolohiya na ginagamit natin para ma-improve ang buhay natin at ang lipunan, sumasabay yung abilidad ng tao eh. Hindi siya naiiwan. Yun lagi sa akin eh. So, trajectory, depende sa iyo yan. At sa mga faculty natin. Kung baga kayo makakasagot niyan. Kasi ang nakikita ko dyan, kung magpapatuloy yung ganon, mas lalong lalakas tayo. Kasi in fairness to CEU, we have modern equipment here. Well, of course, hindi complete. Kumbaga, hindi perfect na yung mga studio natin dito ay kagaya ng ABS-CBN o GMA. Hindi naman tayo industry talaga. Pero this is at par with global standard, I should say. Yung mga editing machine natin dito, yung mga ganyan, yung inyong mga console, no, radio and TV console. So, sa akin, ang tingin ko niyan, wag lang nating totally aalisin yon. Yung ganong abilidad ng mga estudyante, coupled with our power doon sa pag-intindi at paggamit nitong nagbabagong teknolohiyang ito, modern teknolohiyang ito, it will really make the program very successful in the future.
ASEAN integration, digital transformation.
Yes. Yan
Tama,
siya.
tama.
Oh. Kasi sir, alam mo hindi lang to CEU eh. I think this goes to all universities in the country. Kailangan din, pag naggaganito tayo, ang tingin ko, kino-contextualize natin sa Pilipinas eh. Kasi baka, ito sir, lagi kong iniisip yan ha, baka ganyan tayo ng ganyan, globalization, global standard, pero ang modelo natin, mga eskwelahan at kabataan ng kanluran na relatively advanced. Dito, problema pa rin ng Pilipinas ang bigas. Problema pa rin ng mga indigenous communities dito ang highly militarization. So anong ibig sabihin nun? Hindi mo siya maaalis eh doon sa trajectory ng kahit anong school na nandito sa atin sa Pilipinas.
At maganda rin na marami tayong mga nakakausap na mga academicians, no, iba-ibang schools. Like during one time, I was able to invite here University from Zamboanga. And I learned from them that they're very strong in terms of development communication.
Yes.
And that's one area that I assume hindi pa masyado na-exploit, so to speak, no, or na-explore ng ating university, ang CEU, sa curriculum. And that's why, sabi ko nga sa'yo kanina sa ating side discussion, we're really modifying the curriculum to give more ways or tracks for the students.
Yeah.
So they could choose digital production, transmedia storytelling, development communication, and health science and political communication. And
Yeah.
kagandahan dun, sir, ito na sa side ko, no, sa bagong curriculum, we maximize the programs under the School of Education, Liberal Arts, Music,
Yun ang
Social Work.
napakaganda. Kasi ang lakas-lakas ng iba nating programa. Yung kanina siya sa music, social
Social
work, ang political science natin, ang ganda-ganda. We have library science,
Yes.
library and information science. So, ang dami nating matatap talaga sa SELAMS.
Tama, tama. Now, kagabi, first episode nung Manindigan 2025 with Corina Sanchez.
Okay.
And
Hindi ko
the
napanood.
hot topic dito is about how mainstream media and also social media practitioners, no, are performing their roles. So for you, how would you qualify the situation? In broad strokes, alam na alam mo yan since you are a radio announcer, broadcaster, and commentator. Your general thoughts on this, sir?
Okay. I think there is something wrong when you dichotomize the two. I think there is something wrong when hindi ko kinu-question yung program. Ibig sabihin, alam mo naman kami, di ba, mga sociologists, bago mag-komento dun sa content kung ano nangyari, tinitingnan din yung konteksto, no? So, kasi parang ang dating, pinag-aaway mo social media at legacy media. So, talagang polarized ang magiging komento dyan ng tao. Hindi yun ang gusto nating mangyari. Ang gusto nating mangyari kasi nga ngayon, convergence, no? Well, I understand na parang for the sake of parang analytical discussion, gusto mong i-separate. Pero lumilikha siya ng pagbabahabahagi na hindi naman dapat For example, yung debate na kailangan pumunta ka sa legacy media kasi dito ka makakakuha ng mga quote-unquote tamang information. Mali. Kasi hindi naman sa social media, hindi naman lahat ng nasa social media nagpapakalat ng disinformation. In fact, the legacy media is also there. So kung ang debate mo ay, pumunta ka sa social media kasi mabilis yan. Di ba? In an instant. Of course it is. Of course mabilis siya. Of course tinalo na ng Twitter ang radyo. Pero hindi kasi yun ang punto ng debate ron So kumbaga sa akin, sir, ang overall na tingin ko dyan, walang away dyan. No, walang away dyan. Kailangan natin pareho yang i-harness ang potential at ibig mo ba sabihin, yung impurity ng social media, hindi mo makikita sa legacy media? Napakadami rin. Kung sa social media ngayon, fake news at disinformation, ang legacy media may propaganda.
Tama. Pero kung titignan natin siya, no, ang plurality ng different media platforms natin, don't you see any problem with that? I mean, it's a good thing that we have a lot of media companies, media outlets, and platforms, but do you see a problem with that?
Optimist ako dyan, doon sa plurality, because, well, that's how we see, define, describe democracy, basically. Pero ang lagi kong tinitingnan dyan is yung intention behind. Okay, plurality ka. Pero bakit ba, in the case of the Philippine media, we're highly business-driven, profit-oriented ang modelo ng ating mga media. So pag tinignan mo ang social media, sa akin, ang unang-unang pinakamabisang pag-analisa ay dapat tingnan natin yung ownership tsaka control. Sino ang nagmamay-ari nitong mga platform na ito? Diba?
Very hot topic ngayon, no? Yung mga anti-fake news bill.
Yeah.
Ang pagkakaalam ko may 4 na, no? In the past, like 2017 pa yata yung unang-una. Pero, ano sa tingin mo? How do we resolve this kind of situation? Is it really the state should be the one policing or regulating it? Or do you propose any other alternatives?
Well, sir, kahit sa hearing sa Congress, no, at yung mga scholars in the Philippines and around the world, iisa ang sinasabi ni Professor Jonathan Ong na pag tinignan mo ang literatura, kahit yung mga bansa na nagpatupad ng regulasyon na initiated ng Estado, hindi umuubra.
Singapore is one.
Yes. Hindi siya umuubra. Bakit? Kasi nga, yung napakasimpleng katotohanan na pag ang nagre-regulate sa iyo Estado na napakamakapangyarihan, sabi nga dyan ni Weber, meron siyang monopoly of violence, no? Legitimate, nalilegitimize yung violence. Estado lang ang may kakayahan yan, no? Laging merong tendency of repression. Laging merong tendency ng paggamit ng kapangyarihan para i-suppress yung freedom of expression, para maitanyag ang sarili nilang interes. So ako, ang sinusuportahan ko dyan, yung civil society-led regulation. Na kailangan lang nating makita ngayon, Sir JC, because of all my interviews, ang lagi kong hinahanap sa mga kausap kong expert, paano ba natin idetalye yan? Paano yan? Parang in print, paano natin gawin yan? Yung civil society-led kasi, mga kailangan ito ng kooperasyon ng mga media organizations. Both legacy and social media.
So you see na may mga representatives from social media,
Yes.
bloggers,
Right,
that will be
right.
forming part of that organization, something like
Right,
that?
right.
Okay.
Kasi any regulation na state-led will be questionable. Really. Delikado yan. Kasi yung kapangyarihan ng Estado over people lagi
Now
natin
I'm down to
makikita.
my last two questions. Yung
Yeah.
una, yung second to the last question ko. In broad strokes, how would you describe Philippine media nowadays?
Well, very complex, no? ang Philippine media. At ngayon, pagka magde-describe tayo niyan, Sir JC, dalawa na yung i-describe mo yung online media, digital media, and the legacy media. No? So, sa legacy media, hindi pa rin naman nawawala yung kanyang katangian na ang dominante ay pribado. Ang dominante ay pribado at kumbaga ang legacy media ay very profit-driven, profit-oriented, na hindi rin naman iba sa social media.
Tama.
No? Kasi nga, ang social media ay yun din ang lohika. No? Karamihan ng mga kababayan natin, akala enjoy na enjoy sa pag-share, pag-like. Free kasi ang gumawa ng account. So, hindi natin napapag-isipan, paano ba tayo binabawian? Diba? Ano yun Very elementary sa atin, pero karamihan ng mga kababayan natin, hindi alam na yung kanilang share at yung kanilang like ay ibinebenta. No? Pag pinagsama-sama tayong lahat, hindi alam ng karamihan yan. No? So sa akin, pagka-description, I'm really coming from a political economic perspective. Really.
And aside from that, a fact that most of the social media users are not realizing is that yung privacy concerns.
Yes.
Whenever you're using social media very frequently, you are exposing yourself, your life.
Exactly.
No? And having said that, how do you see or how do you think we can improve the situation? No? Kasi parang yung culture natin is something that's being altered because of the frequent use of social media. I'm not sure if you agree with that. If so, how do you think we can try to, make sure that we still preserve our culture as Filipinos?
Well, if you are thinking of culture na parang one identity, something like that, parang a Filipino identity, yun ba yung
That's the
nasa
good side.
isip mo?
The good
Well,
side of the world.
actually, sir, yan yung topic ng aking dissertation. And what I found out, legacy media naman ito, hindi ito sa social media. Hindi nagpo-promote ng single identity ang media. That's my finding. At sinabi ko na to sa show mo ngayon. Actually, first time ko yata tong sinabi in public na it doesn't promote a single identity. It promotes multiple identities. Yun yung kanyang ginagawa. So, kung iimbestigahan mo ang social media, parang mas siya nga ganun ang ginagawa. So, anong ibig sabihin nito? You cannot anymore go back to that kind of thinking na kaya mong maghulma ng isang identity kasi multiple na yung identities Sabi nga ng mga postmodern thinkers at inaaral mo to sa PhD mo, di ba? Individualized ang lipunan in the contemporary world, We are now capable of weaving our own narratives, our own identities, at hindi mo mai-discount dyan ang kahalagahan ng modern technology in doing that. So sociologically, 'di ba, ang isang laging pinoproblema natin ngayon is how to integrate. Maybe not that single identity, but how as individualized na tayo, yung kumbaga dispersed na how are we being integrated by the system? How do you still feel your bond, your communal bond to your community? Despite the fact na you are outcasted, something like that. Because you're weaving your own narrative na Kanya-kanya na Kaya nga sabi ni Sherry Turkle, di ba, alone together. Nasa mesa kayo, pero kanya-kanya na kayo ng buhay sa
hyperconnectivity.
Exactly.
Pero sir, total binigay mo yung napakagandang realization na yun. Napaisip tuloy ako do you also agree with that na parang in today's time that we have a lot of devices and all, like people my age would still feel lonely and all. And that's the reason why we are seeking company with other people through certain apps or social media, whatever.
Yeah, the logic is the same. Kumbaga, our liking, our sharing, in offline or in face-to-face encounters, yun yung longing natin for belongingness eh. I'm looking, sir, at the social media, digital media as an extension kasi. Hindi ko siya tinitingnan na hiwalay eh. So, kumbaga parang pag pinaghiwalay mo, di ba, yung digital personality, yung mga ganyan, digital nomad, sa akin ang isang danger niyan, pag dinidicotomize mo, sa akin lalo mo siyang hindi nauunawaan eh. Tayo pa rin kasi ang tayo pa rin ang humuhulma niyan sa digital space. At kung anong ginagawa natin diyan dahil tao tayo, yun pa rin, yun yung pinanggagalingan natin bilang tao. So, yung sabi mo na, kasi ang individual sa modernong lipunan, di ba, malungkot, parang gano'n na connected sa device, pero disconnected sa mga kaibigan. So, nare-replace. Something like that. And to me, well, it's dangerous in a sense na, yun nga, napapalitan ng teknolohiya yung humans. At yun ang kailangan natin mag-salvage doon. Sa akin, doon natin kinakailangang gumawa ng paraan para huwag magkaganon. At going back doon sa una natin pinag-usapan, kaya nga, Sir JC, nung ako'y nagde-design ng curriculum, pinipilit ko na huwag mawala yung aspect na yon. Kasi baka saka iisip natin na maintindihan, na magamit ng maganda, ng wasto ang modernong teknolohiya, baka lang naman, baka ma-replace yung sa humans. Baka doon tayo mawala ng empathy, sympathy. Baka doon tayo mawala ng pakiramdam at sa akin, yun ang delikado.
Okay. Critical thinking pa rin. Kailangan.
Bumalik sa Sa akin, sir, kasi finally, pwede siyang pagsamahin. Hindi siya
paghihiwalay.
Oo, hindi siya, ang tawag doon, mutually exclusive. I can be critical and at the same time, I am knowledgeable in manipulating technology.
Okay.
Diba?
So, Ricky, you have given us a lot of insights with media, with students, with society and all. Now, we are down to our last
Parang
segment.
yan Oo.
Fast talk.
Ayun, ako.
Fast talk. Pero here, we call it caffeine rush.
Okay.
Are you ready? These are dichotomized questions.
Okay,
so number one question. Legacy media or digital media?
Legacy ako eh.
Top skills that a communication and media graduate should possess?
Critical thinking.
Favorite course to teach?
Sociology of media, of course.
Public relations or journalism? Parang alam ko na yung sagot mo dito.
Sagot ko. Journalism.
One thing you hope that the program will be known for 10 years from now?
Hirap sagutin yan 10 years from now, para ikaw makakasagot niya. Hoping, no? Aspirational.
Of course, I see you as very important here dahil ikaw yung sinundan ko.
Producing graduates that are internationally competent, something like that.
Speaking of international, Carla Teng,
yes.
Westergaard,
Kaya
was here a few days ago.
Ang ganda-ganda ng account niya sa, yung kay Pope Francis. Really,
and the students were very touched, hearing her stories.
Yes.
Meeting with the Pope.
Kasi sir, it's a combination of yung journalism niya at saka yung she being human in that article, really. A very good article.
Okay, thanks sir. Next, if common media were a movie, what genre would it be?
Wow.
Horror ba to?
Sa akin pag horror yung Kung ako ang tatanungin mo, not the feel of the students and the social criticism.
Okay. Research or broadcast?
Kung pwede mo pareho, kasi complementary siya
Okay. Breaking news or feature story?
Feature story.
Most unforgettable moment as program head?
When we won the Metro Manila Film Festival.
UP or CEU? Joke. Joke lang. You don't need to answer that. Because I'm also part of PE.
Yeah. Tsaka magkaibang
Nagulat ka doon.
Nagulat ako doon, Sir JJ.
Last question.
Alam ko, sasagot ako doon
Reporting the story or being the story?
Reporting the story.
Okay. Thank
you,
you very much
Sir
again,
JC.
Sir Ricky.
Yung pala yung campaign rush.
Yes. Isa ka talaga sa mga tinitingala kong tao dito
My
sa
pleasure.
industriya. And I'm very thankful that we get to work starting during the pandemic. Okay. Now, that's another episode of Cup of Jose, your local Escolarian podcast where discussions have a purpose. Thank you very much and stay tuned for other episodes.
Parang ikaw ang mag-i-interview sa akin, sir?
Ako interview.
Hindi, hindi ako sanay na ako ini-interview Magkakulay po tayo.
Oo nga
Parang tayo nag-uusap na
may branding.
May semblance.
Oo.